Hey, how are we doing today, guys? So today I wanted to talk about this mouse. This is the Logitech G502 Lightspeed, and I wanted to talk about the $150 price tag and if it's worth it. So I want to start by saying that I never really got over the G502 Hero. I used that mouse for a while, but when I wanted to transition to a wireless mouse because I started playing FPS games a little bit more seriously, I wanted something that wasn't tethered to the table, or it just felt like it was extra weight added to it. I could just feel that cord going from side to side on the desk, and I just wanted something wireless. Now I didn't want to spend $150, so I went through a few different mouses. I went and picked up some used old Logitech mice, and then I went and picked up different Corsair mice, Razer mice. And it just, none of them really had that feel like this mouse does. I don't know what it is. The button placement on this is astounding. The two buttons that are next to the left click are in a really good position compared to the old Iron Claw RGB that I had. And then the third button on the side is placed like optimally for your thumb, so you can really access all three buttons on the side really easily if you need to, which is really nice. And then the overall just shape of this mouse is just super dope, and it looks really cool. It looks like if a sports car or a ship was a mouse, this would be that mouse. And it has this very minimal look to it. It's only got this G on it. That's the only RGB that you see on it, which some people may not like that. Some people may like more. And when you use this mouse, you pretty much cover up that G, which doesn't really bug me. I'm not looking at my mouse when I'm playing a game or something like that. I'm really looking at the screen, so it's not a really big issue. I mostly turn it off anyway. And then that leads me into comfort. So this is probably scratch that. This is definitely the most comfortable mouse. That's why I paid $150 for it. It just feels amazing in my hand. It literally fits my longer than average fingers and my bigger hands perfectly. And the nice thing about this mouse is the way that it's built, you can hold it with like a claw style grip, or you can hold it with like your palm flat, and you could still access all of the buttons relatively easy. Like, it's not an issue at all. I also wanted to say that the thumb grip on this is really nice. It kind of holds your thumb right into the side, keeps it off the mouse mat, which feels really good. And even the grip on the other side is actually pretty nice. So this mouse is relatively light compared to other wireless mice that I have used. Especially considering the extra features that you get with it, the extra buttons that you get with it, and the fact that it includes wireless charging, which a lot of wireless mice don't. Compared to my Dark Core SE RGB, it's lighter than that. Compared to my Iron Claw RGB, it's lighter than that. I even have a wired mouse that it's lighter than, which is kind of odd to me. If you still have that wire, then it shouldn't be heavier than this. But it feels really good. It just glides around the table. It feels really awesome. Back onto those buttons. This mouse does have 11 programmable buttons, which, to be honest, everybody does not need that many buttons. I probably use 5. I probably use 5, not including like the scroll wheel and the two main buttons that you need to press, the left and right click. I use the two side buttons, the DPI shift button, and then the up and down right next to the left click. And you can really program those buttons in any way, shape, or form. You can do multimedia controls, macros, DPI shift, DPI control, RGB lighting control, profile switching, literally anything you can think of, they have it in the G-Hub software. Which brings me to my next point, which is the G-Hub software. Compared to Corsair, Razer, which are like its main competitors, this is the best. I get no crashes at all from this software. I always get crashes with Corsair. It's like impossible to update my Iron Claw or my Dark Core. Every time I try to update them, I get some message that just doesn't correlate. Like, I'll plug it in with the USB cable, and then it'll say you need to update the dongle, so plug in the dongle, and then it'll tell me to plug in the mouse via USB, and then I did both, and then I did one of each. I don't have any of those problems with this mouse. It literally just updates. When it needs to update, it updates. Like, I'll get back on my computer, and it'll be like, hey, G-Hub updated. Your mouse firmware is updated. It's as simple as that. I don't have any random crashes or when I start up the computer, and even if it's turned on to... if it's set up to open up the software during startup, sometimes the IQ software, which is the Corsair software, wouldn't start up. I never have that problem with this. As soon as my computer turns on, I'm in whatever profile I left it in, and you can also set it up to open in different applications. So if you open one application up, say you're playing Apex Legends, it'll change your DPI to whatever you set it as. It'll change your controls on your mouse to whatever you set it as, which is really nice. And you get a little notification on the screen that says G-Hub just changed your DPI settings to this, which is way better than what I was getting on my other mice. They would just have a light pop up on the mouse, and I'm like, I don't really know what these lights mean. This one just actually shows you right on the screen. So 10 out of 10 for the software. I literally cannot live without Logitech software. All Corsair, Razer need to get their stuff together. All right, so the last thing I want to touch on, and a big deal breaker for wireless mouse, for a wireless mouse, and it's like the biggest thing about this mouse is the battery life. So this mouse with the RGB light turned off gets you about 60 hours. 60 hours. I've gone like maybe a week and a half without having to charge this thing. And even when you do have to charge it, after 2.5 hours, or I'm sorry, after 5 minutes of charging, you get 2.5 hours of playtime. That's like right up my alley. You plug this thing in for 5 minutes, I don't know, watch a YouTube video or something, and then next thing you know, you can use it for 2.5 hours unplugged, which I really, like I said earlier, I don't like to play with the cord in. That would defeat the purpose of me spending $150 on a mouse. My Iron Claw RGB, literally every 2 days I had to charge it. This mouse don't have that problem. And one last thing, this mouse does support wireless charging, but only with Logitech's proprietary charger, which is going to cost you an extra $120. And it's that hard plastic material, and I don't really like that. That fast charge is plenty for me. Plug it up for 5 minutes. It's going to be usable for 2.5 hours. And I don't see myself playing that long without taking a small break. Anyway, just plug it back in, and then there you go. You got 2.5 more hours, you know. I do know that with my Dark Core RGB SE, it also supports wireless charging, but you can use it on any type of Qi wireless charger. You don't have to use the proprietary one. That's a little drawback of this one. I wish they would have made it so that you could wirelessly charge with any type of pad. That way I could just set it off to the side and charge it up versus being stuck with that hard plastic pad that I don't really want to use. I want something soft and smooth that I could just run my mouse across. Alrighty guys, so all in all, I would give this mouse a 10 out of 10 in literally every aspect. I have no problems as far as software, comfort, battery life. Everything is perfect about this mouse. As far as wireless mice go, this is like the cream of the crop for me. I've tried so many other mice. I've spent $80, $90, $100, and now $150 because I thought I could get something that was equal to this, and it just never came by. It just never came. So definitely 10 out of 10 on this mouse. That does wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. And please don't forget, if you do like the content, please subscribe. And if you did like it, go ahead and hit that like button as well. Thank you for watching.